Between LG and the rest of the leakers running wild these last few weeks, there's not a whole lot we didn't know about the G4 before today. Screen details. Leather. Word of that sweet f/1.8 camera lens. Design. After spending just a little time with the LG G4, it's clear that the design is an iterative one that bears some of the design characteristics of its predecessor, but offers newer materials that give it a subtle premium touch over last year's model. Aesthetically, the G4 sports an edgier look due to its hard lines, whereas with the G3, it appears more rounded in the corners. What's more apparent, though, is the new pattern design the casing is exhibiting. Meticulously looking at it, there's a diamond-like pattern with the chassis, which we're told has a ceramic finish over the underlying plastic material. Add to that, there's also a cavia look to the phone that makes it feel pretty comfortable to hold. Unlike the other phones, this leather-cladded LG G4 feels like it's sporting real organic leather, as opposed to the faux leather of the other phones. It's not soft and malleable like the leather material used by the Moto X, it's actually tougher and seems to be more resilient against dirt and debris. On top of that, the genuine stitching running down the phone adds to its sophisticated look. Following in tradition, though, the LG G4 slaps its same power button and volume control combination on the back of the phone, a staple feature that offers easy access to them. Display. Did we expect anything less than a Quad HD screen? Not really, especially considering it's the trend of late amongst the elites in the space. While the LG G4 might not really distance itself on paper from its predecessor, as the G4 packs a 5.5-inch 1440 x 2560 IPS LCD display, the company details that it boasts this quantum display technology that alleges to offer richer colors and a stronger brightness output of over 500 nits. Comparing the same image on a Samsung Galaxy S6 and iPhone 6, we're able to visualize the color difference of the G4's new quantum display, one that accurately reproduces the red color of strawberries on its screen, while the other two exhibit shades that are slightly orange in tone. Beyond the claims and whatnot, we have no complaints whatsoever with the screen, as it offers a generous amount of real estate with sharp details thanks to its Quad HD resolution. Colors appear to have that vibrant glow to catch our attention when it's placed at the highest brightness setting, but we're really curious to put it through our own display benchmark tests to put LG's claim to the test. Right now, it's a gorgeous looking display that complements the new aesthetics of the phone. Interface. During our small demo session, LG didn't go a whole lot into the new customized LG UX 4.0 experience that the G4 is running on top of Android 5.0 Lollipop. From the looks of it, there doesn't seems to be a whole lot of visual change, seeing that the LG UX 4.0 interface doesn't seem to be a dramatic change to what we've seen already. Visually, it makes heavy use of Google's material design, as bright colors are used throughout the interface. Even though the visuals aren't a big departure to what we've seen already, the experience will still adhere to the needs of all sorts of individuals, powers users in particular, mainly because there's still that enhanced multitasking experience where two apps can be running simultaneously. Well, there's a good reason why LG didn't expand upon the interface as much as it did previously with the G3. That's because the LG UX 4.0 experience is lighter, only offering the meaningful things, doing away with redundancies that can overwhelm the user. Processor and memory. One of the biggest unknowns about the LG G4 was what kind of processor would be found under the hood of this flagship. Needless to say, the attachment of being a flagship would indicate it would be using the latest and greatest hardware, but in a stunning twist, the LG G4 is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 chip with 3 GB of RAM. Most folks thought it would have been the Snapdragon 810 calling the shots here, but LG has chosen instead to go with the Snapdragon 808 mainly because we're told that this chip has been optimized for far longer than the 810. Not surprisingly, the phone responds well to all sorts of basic tasks like navigating across the home screen, opening apps, and taking photos. Indeed, we expect this one to run flawlessly with these kinds of simple operations, but we're curious to see what other optimizations have been made to help the phone out with more complex tasks such as heavy multitasking and gaming. And finally, LG claims that the optimizations with the Snapdragon 808 enables the phone to be equipped at managing power efficiency. At the bare minimum, the LG G4 will offer 32 GB of internal storage, which can be supplemented thanks to its micro SD card slot. Camera. Camera phones are increasingly getting better to the point that they're making the majority of point-and-shoots obsolete. With the LG G4, it's sporting a brand new 16-megapixel 1/2.6 sensor that features a wide f/1.86 element aperture lens, laser autofocus assist, optical image stabilization, and a dual LED flash. Without a doubt, the hardware sounds delicious and whatnot, especially that f/1.8 aperture lens, which means it'll undoubtedly be geared to handle the complications that sometimes arise with low-light photography. More impressive, though, is the new camera interface that the LG G4 is flaunting this time around, one that adheres to the needs of enthusiasts as well. Certainly, its automatic mode will allow folks to quickly and easily snap photos, but its new manual mode offers a diversified portfolio of options that give us the control to capture the perfect shot. Expectations. From a specs point of view, the LG G4's arsenal is predictable, seeing that everything about makes it a formidable rival against what we've seen already come to market. At the same time, too, its design doesn't try to be drastically different from the style that we're familiar with from the company. Keeping those two things in mind, one might think that the LG G4 is a minor upgrade to the G3, especially in the wake of the drastically different-looking Samsung Galaxy S6. Sammy's flagship is no doubt compelling, but at the end of the day, the LG G4 will prove its worth by delivering promising results in all the key categories that make a phone great, like its battery life, the quality from its camera, and much more.